Hello everyone, I hope you're ready for what I have for you here today because this one's a doozy.
Everyone, I have an announcement to make. I have finished construction on the Arena of Valor, and here are the prizes you guys will be competing for. So, basically, it's a giant escape room. You want to escape with the least amount of time. I have a final thing to say. I would like to officially open... Oh, that's awkward. The Arena of Valor!
Okay, chat. This is gonna be too
Alright, welcome to the lobby.
Oh, this is just a lobby?
Oh, you haven't seen nothing yet. Welcome to the Arena of Valor, a comprehensive set of chambers meant to test agility, combat prowess, and intellect, along with a bit of luck. So before you start, you set your spawn in the bedroom, the room with the beds. Anyway, you press this button so you don't bring in outside stuff, then you're into... This room is where you get all your gear and you figure out how to use specific tools in adventure mode, like how swords break pots and axe break wood. Plus, it introduces the premise of getting an axe to break through the wood barrier to get to the next level, something that will be pretty handy in... This floor has a couple trial spawners with standard mobs in it, and you have to fight them off and do some simple parkour in order to access these pots that have loot inside. You can also break the pot with the axe in it in order to reach the next floor, which has a puzzle involving buttons. So this room, in addition to the next room, had some kinks to work out still, and could have been more streamlined, but the problem was that I built them when I was running out of time, so while I would have improved them a little bit more, it wouldn't be fair to the people in the first round, which is why this room starts with a simple room with a couple villager houses and a dirt hut. You have to look around and you might notice something a bit strange. This has a couple of out-of-place blocks. If you have a sharp eye, you would notice a random button in the wall in the blacksmith, and pressing it gives you a button, which can be placed on cobblestone. So after getting lucky and finding the correct random block to place it on, the player gets another button. But this button can be placed on a furnace, which gives you a button that you can place on dirt, which gives you a button for smooth stone, then oak planks, and finally, a button that can be placed on a gold block, granting you the axe to let you out of this room and send you plunging straight into... The water maze floor was the hardest by far. It's a three-dimensional maze, so you can get stuck and it can get pretty disorienting. People got lost, some of the air bubbles didn't work, although I did fix that for later rounds, and all the mobs made for an exceptional nuisance, although afterwards I realized that they were often a nice break from the soul-crushing loneliness you feel from this place. All the cryptic signs didn't help that much either. Anyway, after wandering around and 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 around, you eventually find the chamber with the pot for the axe, plus a barrel with a sword, and then after getting even more lost, you eventually find the exit area, plus the kind of checkpoint that lets you get back to it from the beginning. Then you go through to the next room. Once you're finally out of the water section, you can find yourself here, in a mostly blank room with a bedrock thing, and a chest telling you to put your items away so they don't get cleared. Some players also took the time to sort out their mess of an inventory they had by now, and then you enter the bedrock area, the real puzzle room. This is basically a mini escape room where right now the only thing you can really do is look in this chest, where you find a pickaxe that lets you break one of these concrete blocks along this wall. There's also dies with random names, and you have to unscramble it for a riddle, which the answer to is the color of a creeper, or lime green. Revealing pushy thingies you can use to freely go in and out of the room. If you get the answer wrong, you get 5 minutes added to your time, and you need to guess again. Some people either struggle to properly unscramble it, or ignore the die altogether and got it completely wrong. Only a couple of people actually understood that the die colors and the concrete colors matched up, letting you use the concrete as a key. In Oliver's case, though, he just, you know what? Just show the clip.
Can break red concrete, blue concrete, more.
Did you look at the die?
Oh yeah, let me look at that again. Color was meant.
There's a bunch of different colors of dye, and there's a bunch of different colors of concrete.
Would be trivia. What that mob to? It's time. Well, time is only one capital, and that's lime. So I'm gonna mine lime.
How did your
Yes!
logic work on that one?
I saw that there was an exclamation point, and it was the only capital one.
Go back and unscramble it. I'm not gonna take time off of your time.
Okay. Okay. Trivia time. Ah! Trivia time! What color is the mob that was originally meant to be a pig? Oh, it's creeper. Aw, that's a reference. That's cute. That's fun. I like that. Okay, yeah, lime green.
Anyway, once you have the pushy thingies, you can get your sword and break the pots, including a pot with a unique item, Super Steak. You might have noticed from some of the clips that there's a random enchanted meat in their inventories. Yeah, that's it. Here's what it does. Side note, the Super Steak takes extra long to eat to make it more balanced. So after that, they can move on and it gets hot. I mean real hot. After the calm of the puzzle room is a fairly simple maze, but I made it more exciting by adding an accurate representation of Arizona.
And I hate that so accurate.
For this level, you need to make it to the second and much easier floor where the axe is, and then head back to where the exit is, and that's it. The main challenge is not dying and all your stuff burning in the process. After a bit of stress, I decided to give the player some slack. Welcome to Floor 7 is a spot to relax and potentially enchant a bit, use the anvil, and not have to deal with mobs. There's also a pumpkin that can be placed on iron blocks, which clearly means there's a golem coming in. The way to get the axe is to figure out semi-hidden parkour and get to this pot on the roof. Then you can leave behind the piece and have it replaced with chaos. This floor is full of trial spawners that go off all at once, as soon as you enter. So essentially you have to run over to where the golem is and quickly place the pumpkin so it can start fighting for you. I also made it so it kind of can't die, since a normal golem wouldn't do all that much. After you die, immediately, and come back, the golem should be able to take care of most of it for you. Then you can use these trial vaults, and there is more hidden parkour to take you up to these pots. Here you can get the axe, plus those pickaxes you're going to need later if you die. The next level is... This level from the start is very different than the others. You have to break through an extra layer of wood, and then it looks like this. An ominous pressure plate in the center of the room. As soon as you step on it, a whole new room appears and you get assaulted by the skeletal henchman of Dale the Decapitator. He is scary and can one-shot the player, but he can be killed. If you don't kill him, that's fine too, since he's actually just guarding this pot that has a pressure plate for the door, which you then need to mine through the wood to flip the lever and escape. So while I did show all of the rooms, there are also a few Easter eggs, or hidden goodies that you might find depending on how exploratory you are. The first one is just that if you somehow manage to get over the decorative ruins on floor 2, there's a chest with rotten flesh, and a pot with this, because what are you even doing over there? The next one is in the button room, and pretty much everyone found it. It is a pot with super steak on top of this blacksmith. The third Easter egg is in the water maze, where if you get lost enough, you can find this little room, where there's a OP sword, supposedly from the person who wrote the cryptic signs. It also makes you fast underwater and stuff. The next Easter egg is actually in the puzzle room, in case someone decided to bring wind charges from vaults into there. Anyway, I'm not surprised at all that nobody found it. The last two are in the chill room, where you can also parkour to the trees and find steak. And if you go to the other tree, there's a crossbow, but nobody found that one. So that's it for the Arena of Valor. But don't go yet, because I haven't announced the winners. Well, yes, it didn't go perfectly, and yes, there were several bugs. I was able to improve them round by round. While you might think that gives people in later rounds an advantage, it does. Which is why I went back and edited out all the parts where they lost time because it was my fault. And if anything, that made it more of an advantage to go in the first rounds. But I'm glad to say there wasn't too much trouble.
How's it going?
And everyone was happy with their situation. Okay, so maybe there were a few mistakes and a bit of helpful nudges. Some people got that everyone helped
right now?
Those people
Yeah,
didn't
it's a
even
creeper
place
cave.
though, so I think I was justified in helping.
F5.
So, without further ado, I present the winners! While this was very close between the top 3, I made sure to be a fair judge in deciding how much time to give and take, especially from them. At last place, we have Jacob. Since he was kind of disqualified, we just wanted to let him see the whole thing. At 8th place, we have David with an hour and 48 minutes. Tough luck, buddy. 7th place, we have Ethan at an hour 45, not bad. And at 6th place, we have Oliver from Oliver's Garden with an hour 43 minutes. Good job. 5th place is my brother Nathan at an hour 41. 4th place, we have Alexis with an hour and 16 minutes. And then we have, for 3rd, Jacob for 2nd, and Evan in 1st place. Great job, Evan, and thanks to everyone who participated. I had a lot of fun making and hosting this, and I look forward to all the sweet stuff we'll do in the future. That's all for this video. See you next time.